Okay. What's going on, LBHT crew? B, what is going on?
Whole lot of nothing for the last 10, 15 minutes there. Sorry
Yeah,
about that.
yeah. We had some.
Well, actually, I'm not sorry. What actually happened is there are a few people who were out here talking about we need to put out more videos, so y'all lost 10 minutes.
Look,
Now
here
keep talking and see what happens. Okay.
when you ask for more, you get less. What's going on, everybody, man? I hope your week is going well, but if not, hopefully it gets better starting right now. If you're new here, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and also follow us on our social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and TikTok at LBHT Show. Be already out of here. He said, man, I'm sick of y'all. I'm sick of y'all already. All right, look. LBHT crew, you are here. You are ready to go. Let's pull up some comments here. Well, hold on. Let me get your comments going first. We got people already hitting up the donation. It sounds like, oh, okay. That's what I'm talking about. If you want to be awesome, like this person's about to donate, you can hit up our Cash App or that linked comment or the pin comment. That link will take you to our Streamlabs. Either way, that's what we use for our super chat. Okay. $ LBHT Show is a Cash App. You leave your donation, leave your comment, and we will read it on air. We got Kimberly Harmon in here. She said, good evening, everyone. What's going on with you, Kimberly? Tony Hendo says, wow, B. Tony, we ain't name no names now. You told on yourself.
You outed yourself.
Got a man, Garnett West. He says, hello, Brodny. Well, damn. Okay. Just Allo says, hello, everyone. What's up, Just Allo?
What's up, Just Allo?
Got our man Brandon Buck in here. He said Monday Night Football was frustrating to watch. I know Brandon is a Cardinals fan, and we picked the Cardinals, man. I felt your pain, man. I'm sorry for your loss.
Get Kingsbury up out of there, man.
Yeah. All right. Garnett saying, what's up to Just Allo? He's saying, what's up to everybody except Jose? I see how it is. Damn, man, what did I do? Solomon Reed is in the house. What's good, everyone? Hope y'all enjoy your evenings. Hey, thanks for coming through, Solomon Reed. All right, look, listen, man. The Ravens, they out. Okay, they said we are out. We're not gonna have any State of the Ravens address. We're not gonna talk about any kind of moves. We're just gonna be out. Okay, They have gone 0 dark 30. They have gone radio silent. They're not talking about anything.
Yes.
But we still gonna have something to discuss. Okay, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna speculate when there's nothing to report. All we can do is speculate. Okay, we're not reporters. Okay, we're not even real analysts, but we're gonna break down what the silence means. But we're gonna talk a lot of playoffs. Okay, there's a lot to talk about. Yes. It's been fun to watch so far, and there's been some controversy, and we got some exciting matches coming up in the divisional round. So we're gonna get all that started. And shout out to our man Mikey from Off the Record Podcast. And if you guys don't know, Mikey and us, we have another podcast. If you're a boxing fan, or if you just like seeing our faces and hearing our voices, go ahead and subscribe to Ring Kings Podcast. All right, brand new podcast. We put out 2 episodes so far, pretty dope episodes. So make sure you check it out. All right, and B put the link to our merch store right there on the bottom. Okay. LBHTshow.com/shop. All right, that's where you can get some merch that you see us wearing right now. Okay, you can get yourself a little mug right here. You know, this is the bottles keeping it nice and cold. All right, although it's cold enough outside if you just want to keep your drinks cold. Ravens Yuri says, "What's going on, fellas? What's going on, Ravens Yuri?
What's up?"
Well, I'll tell you what's going on. We are getting ready to start our show, but first, we like to start every show with a Black History fact, and B has a Black History fact for you.
Yeah, we're going to keep it real short, since we got a late start. This past Monday was Martin Luther King Day, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So we're just going to give a real quick fact about Martin. Something that I didn't know until very recently, and I'm not sure how widely known it is, but he was not born Martin Luther King. He was born Michael King Jr. And, that was in 1929. And in 1934, his father went over to Germany, and he learned about the Protestant reformer Martin Luther. And he was very inspired, and he said, I'm going to change my name to Martin Luther. And guess what, Mikey? You're going to be Martin Luther too. And so from 1934 on, it was when he became known as Martin Luther King Jr. He didn't actually legally change his name until much later, and I believe it was in the mid-50s. But yeah, born Michael King, and his father, went a little fanboy and changed his name when he was 5 years old. So
wow.
There you
go. I mean, imagine just being 5 and just like that's not your name anymore, and you're like, what's my name gonna be? It's gonna be Martin. It's like, oh. Dad, can I just go? Can I keep Mike? No, you're Martin now. We're both Martin. So wait, what was his dad's name? His dad was he a Mike Jr.?
He was Michael. He was Michael.
Okay,
King.
So he's still a junior. Okay.
Yeah.
That'd have been something if his dad's name was something completely different. It's just like, listen, I'm Martin and you're Martin Jr. That's just what it is. All right. Big Reg 29 says, what's good, everybody? What's good with you, Big Reg? Thanks for coming through. Raven Ron, what's up? He says, what's up, LBHT? The Steelers got spanked. Oh, we're going to talk about it. Bengals about to bow to King Henry. Ooh, okay. All right. So Spooky J, what's up? He says, what's up, Ravens Flock and Brodny? And we already got a donation from Tony Hendo. What's up, Tony?
Thank you, Tony.
Appreciate you, man. He says, just in case anyone forgot, fire Harbaugh. Yes. Listen. We're gonna get to the Harbaugh talk a little bit later on. We're gonna talk about this playoffs real quick. We're gonna talk about the fun stuff. We wanna get our spirits up before they go down.
I think fire Harbaugh is pretty fun.
Yeah, if it happened, that'd be great for me. Okay, so look, let's do a quick wrap up of what happened last week. As was alluded to in the chat, the Steelers got spanked. Yes, they did. A few teams got spanked. The Cardinals. Sorry, Brandon. They got spanked.
Yeah, it wasn't a great week for football.
Look. Let's start with the Bengals game. The Bengals game was interesting and unfortunate if you're a Raiders fan, because look, that's tough, right? Like you don't want to say, hey, the rest cost you the game, but like there's certain things that happen where.
But they gave Cincinnati 7 points, and you lost by 7 points. So
I mean, it's unfortunate either way because the play is completely unfortunate because Joe Burrow did not step out of bounds. So the whistle shouldn't have blown anyway. So if they had stuck to the letter of the law, it would have been a bad call for the Bengals.
Somebody was getting screwed.
Somebody's going to get screwed either way. But
thank God it was the Raiders.
But the rule is if you blow the whistle, the play's dead.
Mm-hmm. And they said they didn't blow the whistle.
Man, that's a damn lie. Everybody heard.
They said they didn't blow the whistle until after he caught the touchdown. And I don't know how you just get out there. You say, "Nah, man, You know how they knew, because they had to huddle up and they're like, "Did you blow the whistle?" Right. Yeah, I blew it, man. All right, look, just follow my lead. That's why they said that team isn't going to be reffing any more games in the playoffs. They know. They know, and they probably have footage of them talking about it. Like, yeah, I blew it, man. I thought I stepped out of bounds. But all right, just don't say nothing. Just don't say nothing. All right. Yeah. That's gonna be a touchdown, guys. So okay, Cincinnati, they won their game, and they're gonna be facing the Titans. Okay, so King Henry is coming back, right? Derrick Henry looks like he's passed all the tests he needed to pass. His ankle or knee or whatever is ailing him looks like it's ready to go. Yeah. And look, Julio Jones is back. AJ Brown is back. They are healthy at the right time, and this is why they brought in Julio Jones. This is why they built the team that they built in the offseason for this moment. So, we'll see what they're gonna do. I tell you what, man, both sides have weapons on offense. There's no question about that. But Tennessee did the right thing by bringing in Julio Jones, to go along with AJ Brown and Derrick Henry. But their problem is they tied their horse to Ryan Tannehill, and the other team has Joe Burrow. Yeah. And I think that's really what it's going to come down to. Derrick Henry, I don't think he's going to make too big of an impact on this game. I think there's going to be a lot of points getting put up. I think the scoring is going to start early, and that's going to kind of take the running game out of it. And I just don't think that Ryan Tannehill can keep up with Burrow.
Okay. All right. All right. As we discuss this game, we'll try to go through this a little bit quickly because we have a lot to discuss. Put your predictions in the chat. Let us know what you're thinking. I'm thinking the other way, man. I don't think it's going to be as big of a shootout, right? Points will be scored because that's just how the NFL is. But I think Derrick Henry is going to have a lot to say about this game. I think the Titans, will be. I don't think anybody's gonna be able to stop this offense from Cincinnati, but they'll be able to kind of frustrate them a little bit, right? Slow it down and make it an ugly game. And that's where Derrick Henry can really do his work. I'm picking the Titans to win this game. I'm going to say they win it 24-17. 24-17 Titans.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 34-24 Cincinnati.
Oh, okay. That would be fun to watch. That would be fun to watch. And what's up,
That's
Danny?
what I'm rooting for more than anything.
Danny,
what's going on, Danny?
She says expanded the number of teams in the playoffs just to have a bunch of blowouts. The NFL looks so cheap this weekend. Bad quality.
That is true. And a perfect segue into game 2. New England and Buffalo.
Yes. So
Buffalo 47, New England 17. And if ever you needed to see that it's not, that old saying, it's the Jimmies and Joes, not the X's and O's.
Well, hold on.
You saw it in that game.
Hold on. Let me read a couple of scores real quick, and then we'll segue into that. Raven Ron says Titans 30, Bengals 17. You got Hendo says, he's saying he's talking about the San Francisco game. Okay, 34-31 Titans. All right. Couch Rider Raven, what's up? He says go Titans. Kimberly Harmon says 22-9 Titans. Okay. And Mr. Yuri,
AFC North hate going on in here, making you side with the team that knocked y'all out the playoffs a couple years ago.
That's what's going on. Mr. Yuri says he hopes that Henry runs for 200 yards. That's what's going on. But look, I mean, we don't like the Titans either. Right. but listen, both teams are stacked, right? Both teams are stacked. And listen, obviously Joe Burrow's a better quarterback, but I mean, Titans are number 1 seed for a reason, man. Like I'm picking the Titans. Okay, all right. So yes, Bills, Patriots wasn't a competition at all. You had the number 1 and number 2 defense in the league playing each other. You would expect a defensive struggle. Look, when I look at the Patriots, that's my worry with our team, with the Ravens, right? Worrying too much about defense and just having just enough on the offense. Yeah. Because when you do that and you get to the playoffs and you play just a more talented team, that will happen. All that happened in that game was Bills went up early, and then the Patriots are like, well, we can't run the ball, right? Because they're up by 2 scores already, and we're not going to be able to get back into it running it. Let's pass it. Oh wait, we can't throw.
Yeah. And again, like I said, it's that old saying. It's the Jimmies and Joes, not the X's and O's, right? Yeah. Because one team had the greatest coach of all time. One team has one of the better offensive coordinators in the NFL in Josh McDaniels. One team had a pretty good defensive coordinator and up-and-coming defensive assistant in Gerard Mayo. And the other team had Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, and they put up 47 points. Yeah. Because it doesn't matter, because Bill Belichick is not going to be on the field. Right. Like he can game plan all he wants, but the fact is they have worse players over there in New England than Buffalo does. Yeah. And so they got beat down in the playoffs.
Yeah. So the Bills are on to the Chiefs. And look, the Chiefs, they took care of business with the Steelers. And I mean, they did it just a couple weeks prior. It looked like the same exact game. I don't think that was a surprise to anybody, even our man Suge. Shout out to Suge. But that wasn't one of those games where the Steelers kind of made you think, because they went up early. They went up 7-0 with that fumble return for a touchdown by T.J. Watt, and they thought, okay, well, maybe they are going to make a game of it. The Chiefs, they are who they are, and they are a very dangerous team. They took care of business. So this should be a very good game between the Chiefs and the Bills. Early in the season, the Bills took that matchup, but I think that was before Kansas City actually woke up. So now the Bills have to go to Kansas City, I believe, right? Yeah, because the Chiefs are number 2. So the Bills on the road, playing at Arrowhead Stadium. Nah, I don't see it for the Bills. Right, I think it'll be a good game. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout, but I'm gonna take the Chiefs in that one. I'm gonna say 35-24. 35-24.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs as well. I kind of think it'll be a blowout.
Oh,
I that's just kind of a feeling that I have. It shouldn't be. All right, Buffalo's a good team. They're playing well. Uh, but I do think the Chiefs win, and they win fairly easily. I'm also going to say I'm going to say 38-21.
okay. All right, 38-21. All right, put your scores in the chat. And we'll read those. And we'll get to what's the next game?
Well, the next game would actually be the 49ers and Packers. They're playing on Saturday because kind of skipped over and went to Sunday there. But the 49ers, they brought an end to America's team, America's dream. They took down Dallas 23-17 in one of the more ridiculous endings you'll ever see. Dallas had the ball. They were, I don't want to say driving, but they were moving the ball down the field a bit. They were trying to get in range to have a realistic shot at the end zone as opposed to a Hail Mary, right? So they were trying to get down to about the 25, 30-yard line. There was 14 seconds left. They had no timeouts. Hike the ball, and Dak takes off on a QB keeper right up the middle. And, he slides down, and Dallas rushes up to the line to spike it. And then the game's over because they forgot that a 60-plus-year-old man had to sprint 30 yards to come and put the ball down, and they couldn't just hike it themselves where they were, and time ran out on them. And so they ended up losing 23-17. The season's over. Jerry Jones is very angry, talking about holding people accountable, blah, 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 right? It's been 30 years, Jerry, like whatever.
Yeah. Dak inciting a riot.
Yeah. And then immediately backing off. He condoned fans throwing things at the referees, and then when the NBA referees called him out on it, he said, "No, I'm sorry, my bad."
I didn't like that, by the way. I don't like. The refs have those NBA refs have nothing to do with this. I don't like that. I'm gonna show solidarity. Well, you didn't show solidarity when your guy, what was his name, Crawford, was threatening to fight Tim Duncan, right? Back in the day, I didn't hear them speak out against that. I didn't hear them speak out against that ref. Well, some of them did because they got thrown on the bus. That ref that snitched on all of them, saying, I fix games, right? They didn't have a lot to say about that. Yeah, Donahue. Right, like stick to your own sport, man. Like I don't like that at all.
They said no. We see an easy mark in Dak, and we're gonna go get it. We're gonna get some points. But yeah, so the Dallas Cowboys. I'm glad they showed up the way they did because that's another situation that Baltimore fans can kind of learn from. I don't think anybody looks at Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and I know Michael Gallup wasn't there, but Michael Gallup as well, and says, "Man, I don't know how good any of these guys are." Right. I think everybody looks at them and says, "Man, that's one of the top receiving corps in the league."
Yes.
And Dak has all this help around him. He's CeeDee Lamb's a great young receiver. Amari Cooper's been doing it for a long time at a high level. Same, Michael Gallup. Unfortunately, he got injured, but he's been ascending over the last couple of years. But that's a very poorly coached team.
It is
offensively.
It is
a horribly coached team, and despite that, you can still see the talent of the players have. And that's the thing that with Baltimore fans a lot, we've been hearing a lot with their wide receivers that we don't know how good these guys really are because Greg Roman's there. He's kind of holding them back. And nobody's saying that they wouldn't be more productive passing the ball without Greg Roman. Obviously they would.
Right.
But that's a different conversation from how good are these receivers themselves, right? Yeah. I don't hear anybody saying that Mark Andrews isn't elite. Like we can't say how good Mark Andrews is because of Greg Roman, right? He's showing you how good he is. The other guys out there on the field, they're not. Rashad Bateman, a lot of Ravens fans seem to think that he's showing you superstar potential. Like we've heard that. Yeah. People told us that superstar potential. He's showing that with Greg Roman there. It's just Hollywood isn't.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I want to make a bigger point about all this too, like as we go through these games, right? Because one of the things that I always hear is, we don't need to have the top wide receivers, argument that I always hear is top tier wide receivers don't win Super Bowls. Always hear that. Star wide receivers don't win Super Bowls. And that's just simply not true, right? Like the last 2 Super Bowl winners, you had AB, you had Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin. All 3 of those guys are top tier wide receivers.
Bro, Jerry Rice got like 5 rings.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm just talking about recent history. In the year before that, obviously Tyreek Hill is a top tier wide receiver. And this year, there's going to be a top tier wide receiver that wins it because that's all that's left.
Every team has one.
That's all that's left. Pick a team. And I can tell you somebody that's a top tier wide receiver. Even in San Francisco, they got Deebo Samuel, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, every team has weapons. You need weapons in today's NFL, right? This focus on defense ain't going to cut it. Like, another cornerback isn't going to be able to stop a team with Cooper Kupp, Odell Beckham, and Robert Woods. I know you guys forgot about Robert Woods because he's hurt, all right? Mm-hmm. Plus Cam Akers, plus what's their tight end's name?
That racist.
Yes. I don't even know what we're talking about.
That's his name.
Higby. Higby. What's up, Eric L? Shout out to Eric L. He says, greetings, big timers. I hope all's most excellent. I hope all's most excellent with you, brother. Appreciate you coming through. Okay, so all that to say, the 49ers are on the way to Green Bay. And, I'm rooting for the 49ers in this game. I am rooting for the 49ers. I think, I didn't say I'm going to pick them. I just said I'm trying to root for them. No, the Packers are going to win it. The Packers are going to win it, man. I think because the Packers have been in this situation too many times for them to be caught off guard, right? I think Dallas is just, like I know it's Dallas historically they're used to winning Super Bowls, but this team currently doesn't really have that kind of experience. But Aaron Rodgers, like there's nothing you can show him that is going to rattle him. And he's hungry, right? He's hungry, like he wants it. So I don't think there's anything San Francisco can do to win this game. So I'm going to go. What can they do?
They can tell Jimmy Garoppolo his injury is a little more serious than he thinks and unleash Trey Lance like they did Colin Kaepernick against the Green Bay Packers.
Yo, what if they did that though?
I know. Yes, what if? No, but I am actually going to pick San Francisco in an upset.
Ooh.
I think they're going to control the game with their run game.
Okay.
And it's going to be a struggle because that's not really the way that you win in the NFL. But I think that in this particular game, they'll be able to get it done with Elijah Mitchell, Deebo Samuel, taking some of that the carries there as well. I think that they'll be able to do just enough through the air with Kittle and Ayuk and Samuel to get the win.
Listen, being able to run on Dallas in an air-conditioned stadium is a lot different than running in the open air of Green Bay, Wisconsin, okay? They may want to run the ball, but as soon as their bones hit that hard concrete-like grass, they're like, I'm not feeling this. Let's call a few more passes, Coach.
they're gonna want to throw the ball to Devontae Adams, but as soon as the ball leaves Aaron's hands and drops like a rock, they're gonna be like,
they're used to it though.
Aaron and AJ,
they're used to it.
I guess
they're used to that.
Are they though?
Yes, they are. They're used to that. So that's why they have the advantage. I'm gonna go Packers 31, San Francisco 20. 31-20.
You got part of that right. It's 20 for San Francisco, 17 Green Bay.
17? That's all they're scoring? Okay.
17.
All right, let's see what the chat says. Let's see. Garnett says Aaron Rodgers is going to have a day. You didn't give a score though, Garnett.
To forget.
Let's see. Andre Mears says Packers 28-24. Deep Mahmood, what's up? He said, I don't know what is funnier, the Cowboys losing the way they did or Stephen A. Smith creating a montage of sad Cowboy fan reactions with sad music and playing it multiple times on First Take. You know what he didn't do, though? He didn't do any montage about the Steelers. Isn't he supposed to be a Steelers fan? This is why I don't like Stephen A., right? Because he's so fake, right? He's supposed to be a Steelers fan. He always talk about how much he loves the Steelers, right? He'll spend all the time joking about the Cowboys. The Steelers got whooped.
At least Dallas was in it.
And he's taking a victory lap. Like, man, shut up. I know that's for views and everything, but this is why I don't even like talking about him, because his whole thing, he's the fakest dude out there. Right? I get it. He's doing it for money and all that, but he's so fake. Mikey says Jimmy G ruins this game for the Niners. Yeah, I think so too. They will be in the game until he does something boneheaded.
Listen, realistically, that's probably what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna keep the faith for now.
And shout out to our man Shaheen. He says, "What's up, LBHT? I just got up. It's 4:20 a.m. here." Shout out to you,
go back to bed, Shaheen. Thank you, though. Thank you.
Yeah, if you want to stay up a little bit long, do some push-ups, get that blood flowing. Hang out for a little bit. Go ahead and leave your predictions. We're just doing predictions right now. Okay, Matt Williams is here. What's up? He says, "LOL." What are you laughing at, Matt? You laughing at something B said? You're laughing at that prediction. I get you. Yuri says Packers 34-21. Hendo says 28-17 Green Bay. Let's see. Noah says stop the hate, B. Stop the hate.
What hate?
I don't know.
No. Noah's picking Green Bay. That's why. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What's going on, Noah? What's going on, man?
Yeah.
He's taking Green Bay to go all the way.
Yeah, Andre Mears is talking about how Stephen A. and Shannon Sharp are getting on the Cowboys. Look, both of them are. It comes from the same shtick, right? Because this is all about Skip Bayless being a huge Cowboys fan. So, they always talk about Cowboys. And when Skip Bayless was on his first take, it was the same thing. That's where the whole rivalry comes from. He just keeps it going. And, obviously Shannon Sharp is working with Skip now. So that's where that comes from. And it's funny. It's funny. Like coming from Steve, like everything Stephen A. does is fake to me. That's why I don't even like looking at him. And I understand Shannon Sharp's putting on a show too, but I mean, I know he understands football, obviously. He's a fan of the sport. So, it seems a little more authentic to me. But I mean, it's all performative. Adit says, is Nick Bosa playing? Oh yeah, because he's in concussion protocol, right?
We'll see.
And Fred Warner is hurt too. Is he coming back for the game?
I think they say he's looking good to play this week, though.
That looks scary, man. It says either way, Jimmy G makes a critical mistake late, and Aaron Rodgers capitalizes. Green Bay 34, San Francisco 24. Man,
listen, we're never about rooting for players to get hurt. Obviously, And I hope Jimmy G has a full and speedy recovery. On Monday.
Wow, Couch Rider Raven with the spiciness says, as long as Brady don't get another one, I don't give a bleep. Okay. He didn't say it. He didn't spell it out. But well, who you picking? I am too. But who are you picking? Pick a game. Garnett says Green Bay winning by a landslide, 34-10. All right.
Ugh.
Okay. And Tough Puppy is here. What's up, Tough Puppy?
Yes.
What's good with you, man? Thanks for coming through. Okay. All right. What's the next game, B?
The last game of the divisional round is the LA Rams at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay.
Now, this is a tough one because I hate Tom Brady. And I don't ever root for Tom Brady. But also, Matt Stafford is a loser. That's been proven for over a decade. But I am going to be pulling for the Rams. The Rams are extremely likable outside of Matt Stafford and the racist tight end. And I love that Cam Akers came back. He looked great in their game last week.
He looked great.
Just that was a great story to see him coming back and be able to play that way. Odell's out there, playing more like Odell every week. Cooper Kupp, he had the best season in the league for a wide receiver. And, obviously you got Aaron Donald, the greatest defensive player of all time, and Jalen Ramsey, the best corner in the league on the other side. And it's just it's hard to say, but I'm going with the Rams. The Rams with the upset on the road. They game plan around Matt Stafford just enough to get a 28-24 win.
I like the way the Rams are looking too. It reminds me of the Greatest Show on Turf, the talent that they have there, and they're fun to watch. Even I'm not a big Matt Stafford fan. I don't hate Matt Stafford either, but I think it's going to be similar to the Green Bay game where you're playing the more experienced team. and quarterback, they've been there already. They're trying to get back there, and they just look. There's something about playoff football, right? And there's something to be said about teams that have done it. Or
hey, the Rams have been there too. Okay, just not Matt Stafford.
Not Matt Stafford. Not Odell.
Just not the most important player on the
field. So I think you're gonna have a team, and Tampa's stacked, offense and defense. They're stacked. I think yes, they will definitely force Matt Stafford into some turnovers, and when it happens,
have to force Matt most of the time.
Yeah, he tries to give it to you, but yeah, they'll capitalize on that, and they won't make the mistakes. They're going to come out with the win. I think that's going to be, I'm going to say 27-20 Tampa. 27-20.
Okay. Matt Stafford taking it home, man. He's taking it home. It's going to be and now that my pick from the NFC is out, Dallas, that's what I get for picking Dallas. What's going to happen is 49ers take out Aaron Rodgers, Rams take out Tom Brady, and then Matt Stafford takes out the Rams. And it's going to be a rematch of the Chiefs and 49ers, and the Chiefs win the Super Bowl big.
Okay.
That's how it's going down.
All right, so let's read a couple comments here. Zaul Martinez says, the teams I usually pick lose, so I'm picking Green Bay. Okay.
That's right.
Let's see. Raven Ron says, rather Brady win over Burrow or Titans any day. I don't want to see Brady win another Super Bowl. I'd rather see Burrow win than Brady. I'm sick of Brady. I'm sick of seeing him. Let's see. Tony says 28-24 Rams. Okay. Mr. Yuri says, a part of me wants to think that Tom Brady finds a way, but I'm rolling with the Rams 35-32 in overtime. Oh,
wow. Okay.
That would be exciting. Shaheen says, even though Dallas has a good O-line, 49ers front four destroyed Dak before some of them got hurt. Still think pass rusher doesn't matter. No. What are we talking about? So if Green Bay goes and blows them out, then what you gonna say? Like we're talking about a team that just barely got into the playoffs, like that last week. Mm-hmm. What are we talking about?
Yeah, Dallas losing was more about their inability to utilize the plethora of weapons that they have on offense, and that's been a season-long thing. They have not been able to get their offense on track all year. That's why they were all playing in the last week. They said it. They said, hey, if you're playing well, you can sit out. We're not playing well. We've got to play and get this fixed. And they didn't.
Right. Yeah. Who were some of the best pass rushers in the league this year? You have
TJ Watt.
TJ Watt. What happened to his team? They got blown out.
They got stomped out.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett. They didn't even make it.
I didn't even see them. You see them? I didn't see them this weekend. That's weird. Yeah.
Oweh, where's he at?
Well, I said top pass rushers.
Did he not?
Matt Judon. Matt Judon, our former player.
No.
They got blown out too.
Parsons got beat.
Michael Parsons got yeah. So there you go.
Carolina's got Hassan Reddick and Brian Burns.
They ain't make it. There you go.
Won 5 games. Bro.
Look. If we want to do anecdotes like that, we got plenty of them. All right. Mm-hmm. Let's see. I knew this was going to come up. Raven Juan's asking, did someone say racist tight end? Explain the racist tight end, Tyler Higbee. Okay.
Look, you put me on the spot because I didn't pull up the details. So this is a story that was years ago.
Yeah.
And I heard before he even came into the NFL. He was at a bar. He was drinking and he was acting stupid, and he committed a hate crime against somebody. He assaulted somebody and started yelling racial slurs at them. I forget exactly what race they were, because they weren't black. I believe they were Asian. But yeah, that was before he came into the league. That was a big, red flag, a character flaw. It's just one of those things that you don't really hear about because you'd rather talk about, AB's antics, or something like that than something that like Tyler Higbee did.
Yeah.
But like I said, most people I guess don't know about it. But yeah, so I heard about it when he was coming into the league, and it's just something that kind of sticks every time I see him.
All right. So there you have it. A little background there that you're definitely going to hear anywhere else. All right. We're going to read a couple more comments. And our man D Weezy is here. He's waiting, right? He's waiting in the green room. Okay. We're going to get to his lunch money bets. And then we're going to talk about some Ravens. All right. I know that's what you guys are waiting for. Read a couple more comments here. Our man Mikey from Off the Record Podcast says, can I ask you guys something? It took the great hype of Stafford 13 years to get a playoff win, yet they killed Lamar because it took him 3 years to win his first playoff. Yeah. Look, we know what it is. And I saw that. I saw people, I saw these tweets of, oh, congratulations to Stafford getting his first win in 13 years. And it's just like, that's not good. That's why we've been calling him a loser all this time. And people think we're being harsh. No, like he literally is a loser. He still has for his career a losing record, right?
Yeah.
Congrats on getting your first playoff win. It took all the talent in the world to get it for you.
Yes.
Like all of it.
And Arizona just not showing up for the game.
Yes. Congrats. You got a stacked team, right? But again, if you don't win the Super Bowl, you're no better than Jared Goff. Jared Goff took the team to the Super Bowl already.
Yeah.
They brought you in to win it. So you're supposed to win that first game. Right, like you're way behind. Look, I mean, it's hard to not play well when you have those type of weapons, right? Ryan Fitzpatrick can get busy with those type of weapons. All right. Okay. Felipe Marino says, "What's up? What's up with you, Felipe? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you." Dandy says, "High key want Odell to win so he can rub it in Baker's and Brown's faces." He already has.
I don't even think he wants to rub anything in Baker's face. Like I don't think they have real.
She said the fans. She said the fans' faces.
Yeah, because I don't think he has any real problem with Baker outside. They didn't work on the field. I don't think he's got any kind of personal problem with Baker.
I everything that he did, like his father taking shots or whatever, like that was just to get off the team. That wasn't personal to Baker. Baker probably took it personal, but it wasn't personal.
He might have, but and you certainly don't want to do it when he's hurt. And going through rehab right now. Like he just had his shoulder surgery. He's going to be rehabbing for the next 6 months. I don't think Odell going to want to take any shots at this point.
Yeah. Okay. See, look, Couch Ryan Ravens like, dang, Tyler Hibbee's racist. Yeah, man. Look, you look up the story and judge for yourself. All right. Let's see. Raven Ron says, "Where's Suge?" I see he's joining that couch life with us. We'll talk about it on the overtime show. I'm sure he'll be there. Okay. Andre Mears says, "Oh wait, ain't a top rusher yet." Okay.
No, I know, Andre. That's a joke.
Our guy Nitro's in the house says, "Sorry I'm late, guys. Let's go." Yes, let's go. Okay, so you guys sit tight. First and foremost, we got about 35 people in here. Make sure you hit that like button, and if you're new, hit the subscribe button. Okay, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We don't have any set date, man. We just want to get there. All right, so help us get there. Also, help us get to 100 subscribers on our Ring Kings podcast channel. Okay, type in Ring Kings podcast. It's a boxing channel we do with our friend Mikey from Off the Record Podcast. All right, so make sure you hit subscribe. Takes 2 seconds. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But right now, before we get into the Ravens talk, don't go anywhere. We're gonna talk some Ravens, but we got some gambling degenerates in here. We know it. Okay, you guys want it. You guys need it. Okay, we got our man D Weezy from Lunch Money Bets to give you what you need. What's up, D Weezy? How you doing?
What's going on, man?
What's going on, fellas?
Man, how we doing? How are we doing?
Well, it was 2 and 3 week on the the playoff run.
Okay.
But I was able to cash on some TD props that I mentioned in the Discord. I went 2-1 on those. James Conner was plus 100 to score TD. OBJ he was plus 180. I did have Zach Ertz, thinking that there'd be more scoring in that game, even if Arizona didn't end up winning. And, he's been a big target for them. So, yeah. But it is what it is. Going into this week, I'm steadily looking for things. Like I mentioned last week, if you thought it was going to be a big blowout like some of the scores they were throwing in the chat, that was something to look at. And sure enough, if somebody didn't mention it in the Discord when I put up something I found where it was Chiefs minus 21.5 plus, I forget what the number was, but it's kind of odd that that number fell right on the hook. And that's what you get into with a lot of those extremely large spreads and, potentially trying to predict a blowout. That back end cover can be a beast.
Yeah.
So yeah, going into this week, games that I'm looking at and everybody, I do like what we saw out of the Ravens against the Cardinals. I mean, there's no denying that. They minimized Stafford's, I don't want to say involvement, but he wasn't brought there to win the game. He was just brought there more or less to not lose the game and allow the offense to be able to push more downfield. And when you can do that, when you can have an adequate run game that they got out of Sony Michel and Cam Akers, you saw how deadly that offense could be.
Yeah.
Because at no point in time did I feel that anybody that was watching the game thought that Stafford was winning the game for him. But yeah, when you looked at the score and looked at the way the teams were performing, it was clear that the Rams were dominating that game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's hard to pick against Tom Brady in the playoffs. But one thing we've seen strike a team down in the playoffs is your offensive line get banged up. And we're talking about probably the best front seven, if not the best defensive line unit in the league, going up against a banged up offense or offensive line. And that's kind of what shut down the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. And
yes, yeah, you're right.
You could very well see the same thing because once those injuries started coming into play, even the Eagles with their front, they were able to get to Brady, not just get pressure. They were able to get to Brady.
Right.
And that's something you don't see a lot of.
Okay.
So, yeah, in this game, I'm taking the Rams +3. Going on to the next one, we got Tennessee playing. And like y'all said, King Henry's supposed to be coming back. We got, smoking Joe Burrow. It's supposed to be, a highlight reel matchup. I think a lot of people want it. That's what they want it to be.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what they expect out of Cincinnati. We talking about a pretty mean team in Tennessee. This team had a lot of issues with not necessarily injuries, but COVID and things like that and missing players. And this team didn't skip a beat for the most part. They lost their number one guy and still managed to go out there and rack up W's and basically maintain a top spot in the conference. And I don't think that's something you see out of a lot of teams, even in past years. You lose your top guy and you're typically scrambling trying to figure things out.
Yeah. All right,
and so in this game, Titans -3 coming down to a field goal. It's at Tennessee, so almost calling this game a pick 'em. That's the way I got to lean. We saw the favorites this past week do a lot of damage. And I don't think necessarily to be a blowout, but I think the Titans cover that -3 in a bit of a low scoring game.
Okay.
Going on to Buffalo versus Kansas City. I want to back Kansas City. I do. I took Kansas City in this game, but like I've said this season, this team, they were inconsistent all year long. They were back and forth. It was like you didn't know which team you were getting. And towards the end of the year, they seemed to figure it out. Things seemed to get more into place. You hear a lot of people say, some teams, some players, they just, they find that switch and they flip it come, end of the year, getting closer to that crunch time, playoff time. And, that very well could be what's happened here. I think it's going to be a close game like the spread indicates. I think, we've seen what Buffalo can do. I don't think Buffalo is any joke. I do not see this being a low-scoring game. If you don't like the spread, something you could look at is the game total over, because I do expect a high-scoring game.
Okay.
And even the book does. It's 54.5 on the game total. More or less saying this game's going to be somewhere around 27 to 20. 27, 24 in that range, maybe a little bit more. I could see this game being more like, 32, 35. But I'm on KC minus the 2.5, something that low where even a, you know, tie game goes down to a field goal.
Yeah.
You're on the right side of that field goal. That's a win with that 2.5 spread.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'll be taking KC there. And then moving on to the last game, San Francisco 49ers. I think this is going to be a real interesting matchup because we've seen the bad blood that exists between these two head coaches over supposedly, trying to poach Aaron Rodgers away from San Francisco.
And didn't wasn't LaFleur's brother the coordinator at San Francisco? Wasn't that? And they tried to bring him and they blocked it.
I don't know honestly, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked with a story like this because it's one of those instances where it's like nobody's getting hurt. It's just who's more or less who's getting butt hurt over some feelings getting bent out of shape.
Yeah.
Oh, you tried to take my quarterback.
Yeah.
But I'm putting money on Green Bay. I do think San Francisco has a chance to win this game. Something I heard brought up, and it's something I've mentioned a little bit. San Francisco has the personnel where you can kind of label a number of players as positionless players. And in a game like the NFL where half the battle is identifying who's on the field, who's going to be doing what on the field, when you have positionless players, that can be havoc on the other team. You don't know if you need to walk out your base set from more a 4-3 base, a more run base, or if you need to be walking out there in dime because the people they just walked out there, it could be anywhere from an empty backfield to an I formation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yes, with this game, I definitely think, San Fran could by any means get the upset, but I'm going to be on the Packers minus the 4.5. Something I was looking at as well, if people are interested in trying to potentially find an angle for the teams that might be going to the Super Bowl, looking at the finalists for the actual Super Bowl, just who's going to get there. Even right now, if you look, taking the teams independently, the Chiefs and I believe it's the Bills are favored to win. Or no, Chiefs are favored to win the AFC. Packers are favored to win the NFC.
Yeah.
By themselves, those odds wouldn't add up to basically picking Green Bay, KC to play in the Super Bowl at plus 550.
Okay. All right.
So, that's one of those things where I mentioned, sometimes it's about finding good angles. Mm-hmm. Yes, you could potentially go, play these teams on the money line to get to the Super Bowl. In some, you're going to be taking favorites in those instances. You're risking more. And in the end, you're not seeing back what you would have if you'd have just simply put one unit down on Green Bay, KC to play in the Super Bowl at plus 550.
Okay. All right. We got a question here from Raven Ron. It says, Degenerate Ron, I missed the show last week, was on a plane. My parlay picks Titans minus 3.5 and NBA in the NBA, Minnesota Hawks over 235.5 tonight.
Well, I was already on the Hawks and that over for tonight. So, yeah, I like that number right there.
Okay.
The Hawks haven't been playing defense. They've been a mess all season long. At the times they do figure it out and get things together, you do see them put up a lot of points. But this is a game where you could potentially see the Bucks put up 130, 135, and the other side only put up 105 or 110, and you still get over that game total easily.
Right.
So even if it's a closer game, somewhere around the 120 range, you still easily cover there, which I think that game might end up in that range. But like I said, this was a number that I saw that I believe I was already on. Because if you're in the Discord, like I be on the NBA, and you hear the fellas say it, but here we go. Yep, Minnesota, Atlanta. I got the number at over 34.5 or over 34, 234. Like I said, I like that number between those two teams. I'm on the Titans as well, so that's possibly a nice little cross sport parlay that could hit this weekend.
Nice. All right. Well, there you go. There you have it. Those are the bets. Make sure you write those down. Okay. Look, if you trying to make a little money, Valentine's Day is coming up. All right. Look, D Weezy, man. Put your faith in them, right?
You ain't even got to write it down. You see, if you come and join this Discord, you just have a nice little place where it's all archived and just organized, and you can just roll right through it.
There you go. We'll tell you how to join the Discord here in a second. And also, he hangs out in the Overtime Show. You can ask him questions there as well. And in fact, we're going to see you there in a little bit, D Weezy, man. Thanks for joining us.
All right, everybody, take care out there.
All right, that is Derek Weatherly. That's D Weezy. He also writes articles on our website, LBHTshow.com. He writes articles for the Panthers. Like he was saying, he has a Discord channel on our Discord, which you can find on our Patreon. Okay, patreon.com/LBHT Show. The link right below me. We have one tier right now, $3 tier, and that seems to be a hot tier. Lately, man. We appreciate everybody signing up, but we're also going to be having a $10 tier coming up here pretty soon. We had one before for the coins that we were giving away. The coin looked like this. They are no longer available. When we say limited in supply, we mean limited. That's it. Mm-hmm. But we got a nice one coming up. We got another coin that's in production right now. And when that's available, we'll open up the $10 tier for everybody. While supplies last, okay. Yes. But B, tell them a little bit more about what they can get for the $3 tier for now.
Yeah, so the $3 tier will get you entrance into the Discord channel, or the Overtime Show that you were just talking about. That's the show that we do after our live show every week. All the patrons are in there. We talk about anything and everything. It's a lot of fun every week. It also gets you entrance into our NFL Pick'em League. This year we did a Survivor League. And we give away a custom lunch break hot take trophy to the winner of that. This year it was OTR Mike, so congrats to him.
Yeah, I gotta get him his trophy still.
It does get you into the Discord channel as well. Like as I said, we had a $10 tier that would get you into our fantasy football league that's being converted into a dynasty league. And speaking of, we did just post an article on the site, giving congratulations to the inaugural champion, Deshaun. He of the Team Stoner. It's his team logo right there. And Deshaun sent us a picture of him wearing the championship belt.
That is the belt right there. If you're ever wondering, we have shown it a couple of times live on the show, but if you missed it, that is the championship belt right there. It is a beautiful thing. And that's what we're going to be doing every single year. So if you want a shot at the belt, at the championship belt, sign up. Okay? Yes. Sign up. All right. All right. So we got Ravens talk to talk about. It's been silent over there on one winning drive. But right before we get into that, look, guys, real quick, I see 28 people in here. Okay, hit that like button. But also, I need you guys to do me a favor, real quick. Okay, our guy right here, Couch Rider Raven. He's 5 away from 800 subscribers. Just five, guys. Please. If you haven't subscribed, I know a lot of you have because you support the LBHT crew. Okay, we're all the crew in here. We support each other. If you haven't subscribed, I forgive you. You've been absolved. Okay, you've been absolved. Just go and hit subscribe right now. He needs to hit 800 tonight. Okay, that is a milestone. Please support our brother Couch Rider Raven. Get him to his 800. All right. Okay. All right. What's going on with the Ravens, guys? You tell me. What's going on here? So, usually when our season ends, at most teams, when the season ends, you hear from players, you hear from coaches, you hear from GMs, owners, what have you, and they just tell you, hey, this is what what happened. This is what we're going to be looking forward to in the off season. This and that. Just answer questions, and you try to decipher if it means anything at all. And the Ravens, for a while, they do the State of the Ravens, and Steve Bisciotti would be pretty open with that. He hasn't done it, I think, like the last 2, maybe 3 years. But you still hear from Harbaugh and EDC. You hear from everybody about the moves that they plan on making in the offseason. But this year, we haven't heard anything yet. And there are rumors that there could be some shakeup in the coaching staff. We know Wink Martindale could be interviewing for the Giants head coaching job. Who was it? The director of player personnel, Joe Hortiz. Yeah. He's interviewing for the GM job. So it could be one of those things where they're just kind of waiting to see who's going to be here in the next week or so, right? As these jobs get filled up before they address the media. But, people are still wondering, like, what's the deal?
It's a weeks-long rock, paper, scissors tournament to figure out who has to tell everyone that Greg Roman is coming back.
Well, that's the other thing, too, right? Because, Wink isn't – look, I'm not a fan of Wink either. But Wink ain't the one we want to know about. We want to know about Greg Roman. And they've been very hush-hush on Greg Roman. So what do you guys think? You guys think Greg Roman's coming back? Do you think he's still gone? Like, you think there's something else going on? Because my mind has looked at it from all kinds of different scenarios. It could be something where it's maybe he is out and there's some internal struggle about who replaces him, right? Because that's been my theory too. Because it's like, we talk about T. Martin and Keith Williams. Whose guys are they? Are they John Harbaugh guys or are they EDC guys? Right. And if it's one of those things where EDC is like, I want you to put one of my guys in that offensive coordinator spot, and Harbaugh's like, I don't want your guy. I want to choose my own guy. That could be a problem, right? That could be something that they're trying to work out right now. Or it's, hey, I'm trying to protect my guy, Greg Roman, because I'm bringing him back. And, I know Ravens Flock ain't going to be happy about that. I know we're going to get a lot of questions from the media and all that stuff, and I'm going to stand behind them. But usually like they're so stubborn. They don't care. Like they'll just say it, right? Like they said last year. Like, look, he's staying. Like I don't want to hear it. You know. So I don't know. So what do you think, B?
It's easy. It's easier to do that when you make the playoffs, though.
Yes. Yeah.
I think that I think the fact that you haven't heard anything at all would point to Greg's coming back. That's just the way that I feel about it. I think if he was going to be out, you'd hear that kind of leaking out, and they're trying to maybe get him to stay in a different role. They're waiting to have a mutual departure or whatever. But hey, this is the guy who's going to probably be taking over for him, because I do think it'll be an internal promotion. But just not hearing anything makes me think that they're trying to figure out the messaging for Greg Roman's coming back.
Right.
And look. Greg Roman's, I don't think he's a very good offensive coordinator, but he's not the worst coach in the world. And, we've said before on this show that if you just take care of business with the roster, you'll be fine.
Yeah. So,
if you go out in the draft and in free agency and rebuild the O-line, the team will be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think for Ravens fans, that's where you should put your focus for right now. Just kind of look around and see who you want on that O-line. The talk out there is already that Villanueva won't be back. Thank God. But they're going to need to replace right tackle. They're going to need probably to replace center, and they need to figure out their path forward at left guard. And that could be just, hey, it's going to be one of the guys who's already there, like Ben Cleveland, or it could be bringing somebody else in through free agency. But they have those three spots on the line that they need to settle.
Right. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like I don't know what it means. I feel like it is a shakeup. I think if everybody was coming back, right? If this was just about Wink, they would just say, hey, we could be losing him, right? He's interviewing or whatever. 'Cause that's happened before too, right? Mm-hmm. But I feel like there might be some like something going on where not everybody's on the same page. Right. I feel like Greg Roman might be out, but they just don't know who's going to be the guy to replace him. All right. And you haven't heard about anybody being interviewed. You haven't even heard about Greg Roman being out yet. But I think there's definitely some discussion going on. They just haven't settled it yet. That's why they keep pushing back the state of the Ravens.
I think if there was that kind of discord internally, you would hear.
Yeah.
Like somebody would be talking to the media. Like the teams like to get their side of the story out through the media and control it that way. Like if they were butting heads with Harbaugh, the team would
know about it
there. The team would want it out there that, hey, John is fighting really hard for Greg to stay, and we're telling him no. I mean, not in those words, but they would want to get it out there and get the fans, to reapply that pressure, that heat that was there for the end of the season to fire Greg Roman.
Yeah.
Like they'd want to rile people up and make it obvious that Greg has to go. So I don't think that there's anything going on internally like that. Like I said, I think it's them trying to, figure out the messaging, the PR of Greg Roman's coming back.
That could be it. It could be it. I would be disappointed in that, obviously, but I wouldn't be surprised. And honestly, look, this is it for Harbaugh. If he doesn't win this year, make no mistake about it. There's not going to be, if he doesn't win this year, then he'll be on the hot seat. No, he'll be fired. Right? That's that we keep pointing out to you guys every week. No quarterback and head coach combination has ever won a Super Bowl together if they haven't done it within the first 5 years. This is year 5 coming up. And don't think that this owner and this GM doesn't know that. Don't think that. And when he says, hey, the guys that I just failed with, I want them back, right? He understands that, hey, if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out with my guys. Cool, right? You have faith in them and you're going to ride with them to the end. I can respect that. It's not a good idea. You don't have, he hinders you. Greg Roman hinders you. Wing, you can make it work with Wing. I think Wing is just more stubborn than anything. But Greg Roman he just can't do it. He's limited. But like B said, when you have bad coaching, and this is what we've been arguing with people online all week, when you have bad coaching, you don't give them less to work with. You give them more talent to work with. So when we say, hey, they need more wide receiver help, you can't be like, oh, well, he's just going to squander it because he doesn't know how to draw passing concepts. That's why you need top talent that can do more with less, right? Yeah. You want to go out there with Duvernay, Prochet. What you want to run Sammy Watkins back out there? Come on, man, no.
Well, yeah, you need guys, and this is what Troy Aikman was talking about with the Cowboys as well, right?
Yeah,
and how in the modern NFL, all these teams are about scheme. They want to scheme guys open and everything. When it's really not that complicated. If you have guys who can win one-on-ones, just throw them the ball, and they're going to win most of the time.
Yeah.
And in Baltimore, if that's the case that Greg Roman comes back, you want them to have guys who can win one-on-one matchups, so that when things don't go as planned with Greg Roman's offense, Lamar can find his guy. He can people complain about him throwing to Mark Andrews a lot, but Mark Andrews catches the ball a lot, right? Yeah. When Lamar was out there in the first half of the season, Hollywood was playing pretty well. He was reliable for Lamar. He's like, hey, the play's not going the way it went in practice, the way it's supposed to go. Let me find Hollywood. Let me find Mark, and we can still get this ball moving.
Yeah.
And, if Greg is back, you need more guys like that.
All right. Let's read a couple comments here. Mr. Yuri says, I hope they come out and say he got captured by ISIS or something.
Oh, Jesus. That's not nice.
Kimberly Harmon says we need a black O-line coach on the Ravens team. Black O-line coach or just offensive coordinator? I think you mean offensive coordinator. We need more black coaches around the NFL, period. Right? So, yeah, I don't disagree with that comment. Let's see. Couch Rider says Greg getting a promotion to offensive overlord. And we got an anonymous tip. Shout out to you. He says, will Mr. Jackson run less and pass more in 2022? That is a great question. And if we keep Greg Roman, I'm going to say no. Greg Roman, guys, he can't do it. Right? He keeps talking about he has something in the vault. We keep making the excuse of, we need an O-line to hold up so he can run these offenses. He doesn't know how to do it. This is all he knows. He's not even good in the run game. He can't get it done unless his quarterback can carry the load on the run game. Otherwise, he's ineffective all around. That's why, I'll be very disappointed I'll be very disappointed if they keep him around because, like, to me, that tells me you don't really care about winning. Like, let's just be real. Like, it tells me, like, Harbaugh doesn't really care about winning. He's at that point where he just wants to do things his way. Gary Williams was like this in University of Maryland. Who's I forget who's giving me Terps updates. Huh?
Ridley,
yes. He keeps giving me Terps updates, right? Like, this is the Gary Williams effect, right? After he won the national championship, he didn't care about winning at that point. He just wanted to do things his way. And Harbaugh, I think, if he's doing that, if he's keeping Greg Roman, that's him saying, I just want to do things my way. You don't care about winning. Winning's not your number one priority. You would like to win, but that's not your number one priority.
Right. Winning, you want to win. You want to do it your way.
Yeah.
Whereas, other coaches just want to win.
Yeah. Couch Rider says, think we run it back with Sammy? No. Do you want Sammy back? Like, listen, how many times do we have to see this player come and go? Sammy Watkins, Des Bryant, Michael Crabtree, TJ Husmanzada, Seth Roberts, Lee Evans. How many times do we have to see that? And we got another anonymous Cash App. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Says, will Mr. Jackson be more vocal now and later?
It's funny because the rumor out there is that they offered him huge money, a huge contract, and he said no. So that's about as vocal as you can be. I wouldn't expect him to be vocal publicly. I don't think that's Lamar's style. So I wouldn't expect him to say anything in the media that goes against the franchise. But if that story is true, that is as vocal as it gets. Saying, hey, you know what? I know that's everything that I asked you for, but no, because Greg Roman's still here. Listen, I don't know if that's the reason, but whatever it is that he's unhappy with, he's saying, no, I'm not signing a contract until this is fixed.
Look, if that's what he did, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And this is something we always wanted to see Cam Newton do, right? Especially later on in his career. Just start saying, start being selfish and say, look, you need to do this and that for me, or I'm not re-upping with you. And I hope this is what Lamar's doing. I hope Lamar's saying, yeah, money's cool, but they ain't enough. I need you to protect me. 2 years in a row, I go out with injuries because his O-line ain't protecting me. I'm not doing it again. So make sure you invest in that O-line. You get some people in here that are paid and that can get the job done. Honestly, I hope he's saying that about Greg Roman too. Like, look, get somebody in here that can help me, be the best version of me, because Greg Roman is just holding me back. And I want to make that clear. All they've done since Lamar has been in the league is hold him back. None of these coaches have helped him grow. Lamar has always been capable of this, right? This re-option offense that they've been giving him to do, that's not what he came up doing. Yeah. Right? So you're just it is. It really is. So like they're not helping him out. And he's clearly outgrown this, and the offense is limited, and he can only do so much with it. So,
well, you could see that this year because just watching them play, he didn't want to run as much.
Right.
Like he was just not doing it. He's like, I'm not running as much as I have in the past. I think that was a conscious decision on his part. He's like, I don't want to be running this offense anymore.
Yeah. Here goes E. He says, Greg Roman going to be back. Watch, Zay. I've been said this. You say a lot of things, E. Tomorrow you're going to be saying he's gone.
What's up, E?
What's up, man? Thanks for coming through. Andre Mir says, if he comes back, fine. But if he doesn't, fine. Bateman, Duvernay, Prochet should get more attention. Tylan Wallace as well. Not enough.
Guys, one of those guys should. Listen,
not enough. We need another. Again, stop wasting your time with the Sammy Watkins, with the Michael Crabtrees, with the Des Bryants, guys that give you absolutely nothing. All they're doing is taking up a roster spot, right? And snaps. Get yourself a top-tier wide receiver. Try to get the best one that you could possibly get, whether it's free agency, whether it's through trade, whether it's through the draft. You have to have overwhelming talent to mitigate the poor coaching. You can't just say, well, coaching sucks, so we're not going to put anything on that side. You know what? Because I can say that about the defense too. Defense sucks too. We got poor coaching on the defense. You want to add more defensive players to a team that all they do is blitz and get beat, right? Mm-hmm. They blitz more than any other team, but they also give up the most passing yards. But you want to draft a corner? No. No, thank you. And shout out to OTR Mike for the donation. He says the Pick'em champ is here. Keep killing it, guys. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We're gonna get a picture of Mikey with his trophy as well. I got it upstairs. I might meet up with you later to make sure you get it. Let's read a couple more comments here. Oh, what's up, King Bird? He says Greg needs to be fired today. He needed to be fired a while ago. Attitude Pop. What's up, Attitude Pop? Says, please fire G-Ro. If G-Ro ain't fired in the next 2 weeks or after this Super Bowl passes, I'm not watching no more Ravens. These playoffs should tell you that G-Ro is bad and not on the same level as others. You're going to watch the Ravens. You're going to watch them. I know it's frustrating, but look, people win with bad coaching. It happens, right? It just, it's not going to last forever. But like I said, if we have the talent, that's what I'm saying. More than anything, you have to fix the O-line, and I think they understand that, right? Don't worry about what these mock drafts say or anything like that. What are they thinking internally? Fix the O-line. And
the mock draft from Mel Kiper said Tyler Linderbaum.
Yes, I like him. Don't worry, we're gonna do our own mock draft here soon. So we'll tell you exactly what they need to do, and all they have to do is just watch our video, and they'll get it. They'll know. Zaul Martinez says Lamar has to look at Russ and see all the damage he's taken because of the play calls or the personnel. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Russ is saying the same thing. I'm ready to go. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got me weapons. That's great, but you're not protecting me. I've been running for my life since, 2008.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Again, you say, hey, Bateman, Prochet, Duvernay need to be more involved, and Tylen Wallace as well. Bateman needs to be more involved.
Yeah,
Bateman he was a first round pick. He's a guy you expect to come in there and be one of your top receivers. Duvernay found his role.
Yeah,
right?
Special teams. Yeah,
he's the best returner in the league, arguably, or one of. He was a first team All Pro returner, and he gets in on offense every now and then. Prochet hasn't shown anything to say he needs to be more involved in the offense. People are looking at Prochet because you don't have the talent up front. That's just what it is. If Sammy Watkins came in here and was playing well, if Hollywood played well all season, if Bateman played well all season, none of you would even be mentioning James Prochet's name. Right. But the frontline receivers aren't good enough, so you're looking for answers, and you just don't want to spend to get it. You don't want to spend the high picks. You don't want to spend money in free agency. That's where all of this James Prochet hype comes from. You're looking for a cheap answer that's already on the roster, and he ain't it.
Yeah,
he's not it. You're picking 14th. You got Garrett Wilson, you got Drake London, you got Jamison Williams. I know he tore his ACL, but you have some high-end wide receivers there. You have high-end O-linemen there in Evan Neal, Cross, Linderbaum, even I don't know how to pronounce it. Daniel Falele,
something like that. Yeah,
I think he's going to jump up into the first round. So get some high-end talent on the offense, and I promise you will never care about James Prochet again.
Oh yeah. Ever. I mean, and they know that too. Prochet is just he's one of those try-hards that you root for, and you hope he can turn blossom into that like that Victor Cruz type of player. I'll root for him, but you can root for a guy, and you can hope he gets there, and maybe you feel like he could get there, but you can't lean on that guy. You can't depend on that guy right now. If he turns into that, great, but you can't plan going into the next year like, man, we got Prochet, man. You just got to give him more targets.
We had a lot of guys like this in Carolina. Philly Brown.
Yes.
He was a starting wide receiver because they didn't have anybody else. Brandon Zylstra, he's a Prochet level receiver. He produces more than Prochet, but that's what he is. They had Kalen Clay, the
former Raven
from Baltimore. He was playing for him.
That lost you a playoff game.
David Armageddis. We convinced ourselves he was going to be a big thing. Damiere Byrd. We thought, hey, he's got the speed. He can get deep. That's a guy who's going to blow up here in Carolina. No, they never do.
Yeah.
They'll go out there, they'll make plays every now and then, and it's great, and you root for them, and it's fun. I forgot. How could I forget? Brenton Burson.
Brenton
Years
Burson,
they
the
spent
glue
on
guy.
Brenton Burson. And, because he went to Wofford. That was the only reason he was there. And you root for those guys, and it's great. When they make plays, you're happy for them and everything. But when it comes to the draft and free agency, you have to go get real talent.
Yeah.
And eventually Carolina figured that out. That's why they've got DJ Moore now. That's why they got Christian McCaffrey now. That's why they went out and they signed Robbie Anderson. But Baltimore still has their head in this like, rummage sale kind of mode. Where like, hey, we're just gonna go Sunday driving and see somebody selling all their junk out of their garage, and we're gonna find a superstar. No, you're not.
Look, shout out to Couch Rider Raven. He hit his 800 milestone. Shout out to you, man.
Thanks.
And appreciate you, LBHT crew, man. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Support your own, man. Congrats, man. And, keep supporting them. We both trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. That's what milestone we want to hit. Look, man, we keep giving you this content. We enjoy this. Everybody supporting right now. Thank you very much. Everybody that donates, man, we really appreciate it. All right, we have all kinds of plans for this show, so just keep supporting us. Ray Ron says Duvernay's better than Prochet. Yeah, he's better than Prochet. Look, it's no,
and that's why he plays more.
Yeah. There's no question about it. And we got another donation. Shout out to you. Says, will Ravens sign a vet and a first round O lineman in 2022? They'll sign somebody, but who are they going to sign? They'll sign a few people, right? The MO is get right player, right prices means the cheapest player available. That's what it usually means. But do they switch it up this year, realizing the dire need at O line? Realizing how bad they failed at O line last year, going before the injuries, going into the season, knowing that it just looked terrible, and that's how they designed it. Are they going to put more of a priority on that now, understanding that Lamar ain't signing? We made him offers. He's clearly not happy about this. We gotta show that we can protect him. I would hope that they make a good signing. I would hope that maybe even trade for Andre Dillard from Philly, right? They had talked about maybe the Ravens are looking at that at the trade deadline, revisit that. But I hope they make a serious push to protect him before they even get to the draft. And yes, in the draft, I know a lot of people want to go defense, and we do have some holes to fill on defense. But I'm tell you what, cornerback ain't one of them. I don't care what anybody says. Cornerback is not a hole that we're trying to fill on defense, and they better not go that way in the first round. D lineman, I will understand more, but I want to see offense, whether it's O lineman or wide receiver. Because again, what would be wrong with getting? Okay, you like Bateman, you like Hollywood sometimes, because sometimes you don't like Hollywood, but you like Bateman, you like Hollywood. What would be wrong with getting another dynamic player, another right. high talent player? What's wrong with that?
Because you know what? All I hear about the defense is, don't know how Marcus Peters is going to come back. They had a lot of injuries there. They might be getting rid of, Averett. Maybe they cut Tavon Young. Okay, well, Hollywood started out his career injured. Bateman started out his career injured. You're not going to bring back Sammy Watkins. You don't have any idea what you're going to get from any of the other guys. So why don't you look at wide receiver the same way you look at corner?
Yeah.
Because you do not have anything proven at wide receiver right now. You have proven all pro players at corner, but it's not good enough. You don't have anything proven at wide receiver.
Right.
And you're like, hey, we're fine.
Yeah.
You don't have anything proven at right tackle. It's like, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, that's
the
thing.
You don't
about
have anything at center. Bradley Bozeman's a free agent. It doesn't sound like they're going to pay him, so you don't have anything at center. And it's like, somebody will fill in.
I was looking for my T-shirt, the hashtag defund the defense T-shirt. This is, and you're gonna see that a lot this offseason. You're gonna see it a whole lot because this is the time where you have to show that you're putting offense number one, making it your number one priority, right? Because I don't hear that sense of urgency when it comes to getting an O lineman. I hear everybody say, "Oh yeah, of course, protect Lamar." But when we talk about what we're spending our resources on, our high resources, it's always on defense. Oh, we can get a tackle later, or we'll find somebody in free agency. Oh, Pat McCarthy's coming back, and we have we got what's his name, Jawan James. That'll work itself out. How many times are we going to say that'll work itself out, or we'll get somebody, we'll find somebody, right? Before we say, no, we need to make sure this is what we get. We'll find somebody on the D line. We'll find that person. I have no doubt about that.
If you're worried about Marcus Peters' injury, don't even fix your mouth to say the name Jawan James for anything, because my man hasn't played football in 3 years.
Right. We're sitting here saying Jawan James gonna be fine, but Marcus Peters, you're worried about. Like, yo, like players get hurt all the time. They can come back. There's no injury that these players have sustained that you should be worried about. And I hear a lot of people talking about Ronnie Stanley. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Y'all need to stop talking about Ronnie Stanley needs to go. This is how you end up like the Washington football team, getting rid of Trent Williams. Because when you talk about Ronnie Stanley, you're talking about Trent Williams. Trent Williams missed a lot of games when he played in Washington, right? He missed 6 games here, 2 games there, 6 games here, right? Missed all of 2019, right? And yeah, Washington fans are like, look, he want money. He beefing with the team. He hurt anyway. Let him go. And Trent Williams is hands down, by far, the best left tackle in the league.
They got a 3rd round pick for him.
A 3rd round pick. He's 33 years old. Ronnie Stanley's what, 27? Guys, you need to chill all the way down with that. Ronnie Stanley can go talking. He's not going to come back. Chill with that, yo. Like we have our left tackle. We have the guy that can anchor the left for a long time. Manage his injury. Don't rush him back, right? Because look, it ain't Ronnie Stanley, B. It's not Marcus Peters. That's not what y'all are worried about. You're worried about this coaching staff, because this coaching staff always does this. This is a repeated thing every single year. Players are getting hurt, and you're like, oh, I thought he was only going to be out for a couple of weeks. What happened? Right? This goes all the way back to Brashad Perryman.
Day to day for an entire year.
They're always lying about stuff. They're always, you could tell they're forcing players back out there before they're ready to go. They re-aggravate stuff, and you're always like, well, what happened? Like, why is he out for so long? You don't see that happen to other teams. It's something that the coaching staff is doing. It's something that the trainers are doing. They need to look at all that.
Yeah, because John Harbaugh getting up there and lying and not, and just kind of being evasive with the media. It's all funny until Ronnie Stanley doesn't practice at all in the summer, and he tells you, no, he's ready to go, and then he gets hurt in week 1. He's out for the year.
Yeah,
I mean, just think about how ridiculous that Ronnie Stanley situation was. They tried to tell you he was 100%, he was ready to go, even though he couldn't participate in training camp
at all.
And even beyond that, when he got hurt, how long did it take them to tell you he wasn't coming back? It was what, 5 or 6 weeks before they gave you any information on Ronnie Stanley.
Yeah,
because they don't have a clue what they're doing when it comes to taking care of these players. No. They don't.
No.
And the reason is, I mean, I hate to say it, it's either incompetence or they don't care about the players' health. They don't care about their long-term health. They want them back on the field as quickly as possible, whether it's in their benefit or not. And you see, this year the bottom fell out. Dalen Hayes went from IR to IR. Like, you guys like talking about it? You got 30 players on IR. Why?
Yeah.
Why does it keep happening?
Yeah. This ain't the first time it's happened, right? Kimberly says Ravens players need to be healthy for 2022 season, and they need to do way better to win a lot of games and go to the playoffs and Super Bowl party. Don't make the same mistake in 2021 season, I think she meant. Yeah, but managing players' health, managing the injuries, that's on the coaching, right? You know damn well Ronnie Stanley ain't ready to go. He, like B said, can't practice the whole offseason, can't play any preseason games, and you thought he was ready for week 1. You didn't think he was ready for week 1. What you saw was Villanueva is going to get our quarterback killed. And we'll take 60% of Ronnie Stanley, then 100% of Villanueva. That's what they were thinking.
They said, we didn't do our job in the offseason. We didn't get an O-line. And now Ronnie's got to go. He's got to play regardless because we didn't go out and get guys who could fill in for him.
Right.
We got Alejandro Villanueva, who we knew couldn't play.
Yes, you knew
we didn't get any backup tackles because we were hoping Ronnie would be all right. He's not all right, but we don't have any backup tackles, so he's got to go. It is what it is.
Yeah. All right, let's fire up the bonus time. It's going to be a short bonus time. We already gone overtime. We started late, so we want to give you a little extra to make up for it. And right after this, we will start up the overtime show. If you want to be a part of the overtime show, right below me, patreon.com/LBHT show. Right? If you got enough for a king size candy bar, you got enough for the overtime show. You got enough for the Patreon. Okay, just $3 a month is all it takes. All right. And we got a comment from Mikey. He says, I don't want to hear anything about the cap this year. The Chiefs and Rams sign guys with $13 in cap space. Yes. No excuses, Ravens. Hashtag make it enough. Okay. We're going to get some shirts for that too. Hashtag make it enough. I don't want to hear anything about cap. Anytime anybody says anything about cap, man, miss me with that. The teams that are trying to compete. How do the Rams haven't had cap in ages. They haven't had cap or draft picks in ages. They still got Odell. They still got Von Miller. They re-upped Aaron Donald. They traded for Matt Stafford.
Man, it's weird what having superstar talent will do for your team.
Right.
Instead of a boatload of 4th round picks.
Yeah, because here's what it is. Here's what people say. Well, yeah, those teams, they're pushing, they're mortgaging the future, and eventually the bottom will fall out. Okay. So what happened with the Ravens right now? We're being fiscally conservative, and where are we at?
Yeah. They're in the same spot as the Saints where the bottom fell out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Supposedly.
So what does it matter? You can keep your team competitive for as long as you have a superstar quarterback if you really want to, right? Mm-hmm. Peyton Manning never played with the whack team. You know what I'm saying? Like, when he became Peyton Manning, like, he never played with the whack team. They stacked him with talent throughout his whole career. The Ravens can absolutely do that. They need to realize that and need to figure out how to do that, right? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, no excuses, man. No excuses. If you have to hurt a little bit on one side of the ball, then the side that needs to be hurt is the defense, because we don't have the generational talent on the defense. That's another thing you guys need to understand. I understood making the investment back in the day because Ray Lewis and Ed Reed were generational talents. Generational talents is once in a generation you see that type of player. That's what type of players they were. They were special. And you could say, okay, well, we're going to add to that because we have something here that's so special. We can say, hey, we only need our offense to score 16 points to win this game. And they'll make sure the other team scores 13 or less, right? That's special. We don't have that anymore. We have it on the offensive side, right? The generational talent is on the offensive side. So you need to support that side of the ball. And the defense just gets what they get. You got to make it work, right? If they got to work with less, then so be it. But the offense, we can have something special that this league has never seen before. And we showed it in 2019, right? We showed it. It can be even better than that. But you have to start thinking differently. The organization has to start thinking differently before Lamar can realize his true potential. Or he might leave. Who knows? All right. Let's see. Get your comments in here real quick, and then we're going to fire up this overtime show. Man, we're going for almost an hour and a half. All right. You definitely getting some bonus here. Andre Mir says, maybe if we get offensive coordinator that uses our wide receivers best for what they do, everything will be fine. Yeah, I mean that's the plan.
Yeah,
that's the hope.
It'll also be fine if you just got some better receivers.
Yeah,
be fine.
Listen, coaching will take you so far, right? Better coaching, sure, but our point is it's not enough, right? Why can't you, everything that you're saying for the wide receivers, you can say for the defense, right? Why do you feel like you have to have the top cornerbacks? Why do you feel like we have to have the top D linemen or the top linebackers? Why can't we say, hey, better coaching, our cornerbacks will be just fine. We already have Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Peters. Okay, they maybe they're not 100% healthy to start the season, but we just drafted a bunch of guys. Why can't our coaching just cover that up? And hey, look, they did good enough to keep us in games down the stretch of this season. They'll be fine to start the season until these guys are brought back up to speed, or we can get these guys later on in the draft. Why do you want those guys at the top of the draft, right?
Yeah, and I know why Ravens fans want the top corners. It's because everybody else has top receivers. I mean, we talk about coaching so much, talk about the offensive coordinator so much. Nobody thought that Brian Callahan, the OC in Cincinnati, was any good at his job until he got some talent.
Yeah.
They were a couple years ago, they were 30th in the league in points. This year they're 8th. That's not because he's a better coach. That's because they got elite players and they put points up on the board.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right, a couple more, and we are out of here. Attitude Pop says, doesn't this situation remind you of the LeBron situation when LeBron left Cleveland the first time because they didn't invest in him? I could see Lamar not signing and taking his talents to another team. It's not as simple in the NFL, right? You have the franchise tag, and I'm pretty sure they would use it, at least that first time.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere unless Baltimore wants him to go somewhere. But, he could make it a very uncomfortable situation if he wanted to.
Yes. Couch Rider says Chiefs have enough to make the overtime show. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, they had just enough. They can make it a couple of times. Big Reg, yes. Hashtag make it enough. That's what look. Hashtag make it enough. Hashtag defund the defense. You're gonna be seeing this all off season. I promise you. Mr. Jada6 says, yeah, Saints and Rams don't believe in cap space. They don't believe in cap space or picks. They don't care. Yeah. Just give us the player that we want. We don't care about that.
Because you know what's better than our first round pick? A guy that we already know is one of the best players in the league.
Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. Forget those stupid picks. So you guys won't want to give up your first round pick if we can get Calvin Ridley here? Man, forget that pick. Forget that pick. Get somebody that I know can play.
And this isn't just a Ravens thing. Like this is a human thing because it's like, but that pick could be anything though.
Yeah,
it could be Calvin Ridley.
Yeah,
like three years younger.
It's a surprise, right? Like, yeah, you never know. Raven Ron says, Brodny, you going to Baltimore for the Ravens Panthers game next year?
I mean, we'll see.
We'll see.
Depends on how much tickets cost and what the weather's like.
Yeah, we don't do cold weather, man. We usually, if you see us at the games, it'll be in the preseason, right, where we can get somebody that wants to give
club level.
Yes, somebody can give away a club level seat because it's a preseason game. It's nice and warm and comfortable. Like I don't like going to cold weather games, especially if I go to the game and we lose. That would infuriate me.
Here's the thing about going to the game. Them players, they can't hear me cheering, and so I'm more about comfort than that.
Yeah. They always seem to only hear the obnoxious people, right? Yeah. We got another donation from Anonymous. Appreciate you. Says, will the Ravens sign number one wide receiver and another wide receiver in 2022?
My guess is no, but it would be nice.
I don't see it happening. I don't. I would love to see them get an Allen Robinson, right, or trade for Calvin Ridley. I would love to see that happen, but I don't see it happening. But all we can do is hope. All we can do is say, hey, this is what you need to do, right? I don't know what more you need to see from this wide receiving core to say we have to step it up. Sammy Watkins gave you nothing at all. That was a complete waste of time, right? And he that's all he's shown you his whole career is that don't waste your time on me, right?
Except for that one time he played with G-Ro in Buffalo.
Yeah. Like he's a complete waste of time. And look, this ain't a diss to Sammy Watkins, right? He seems like a nice guy, but I mean, like he is,
he's
right?
Calling me a complete waste of time. And said
I'm talking in football terms. I'm sure he's a nice person, but like,
I bet you he don't care.
Look, listen, but he's in that group. He's in that Des Bryant group. Everybody's hyped about Des Bryant. Everybody was so hyped about Des Bryant, and he gave you absolutely nothing. And he went right back to where he was before we signed him, out of the league. Crabtree,
about the Ravens,
out of the league. Right? Like, we keep getting these guys that this is their last stop before they're out of the league. We have to stop making that move. So if we get another wide receiver, man, it better be somebody that we can really look at and say, we can keep this guy. He can be a part of this high-powered offense. Stop getting these.
That's why I was so mad about the offer they made to Juju. Juju is a very good player.
Yeah.
He's a young player. They could have had Juju here for years. Yeah. Just pay him what he's worth.
Yeah. Derek Weatherly says Jose and B are fair weather fans. No, we're warm weather fans.
I always say that too. When talking about switching teams, like, oh, you call me a fair weather fan. Like, don't insult me by saying I don't like being rained on. Like, who cares?
All right, Couch Rider's out of
yo,
here. Hey, shout out to you, Couch Rider,
product.
man. Thanks for coming through. And go check him out. He's doing the show later on. He says 9 Central, so it's at 10 o'clock Eastern time. So make sure you check him out. All you guys that just subscribed. All right. All right. Kirk is Hollywood 2.0. Oh, he's talking about Christian Kirk. Brandon Buck says Christian Kirk might be a free agent. Yeah, I want better than that. Who was the wide receiver we overpaid for, but he failed the physical? We got lucky that time.
Ryan Grant.
Yeah, Ryan Grant. Yeah, they did him dirty.
Dirtbag Ravens. Yeah.
He didn't fail the physical, right?
He did.
He did. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or they said he did because they're the ones who give the physical.
Yeah.
Because he passed the next team's physical.
Yeah.
Same with Michael Brockers.
We didn't.
They gave him that money, and then they were like, we kind of don't want to do that. So
we didn't dodge a bullet though. Who do we get? Guys? Michael Crabtree.
They dodged a bullet in that they paid him way too much money.
Well, yeah. But I mean, we got Michael Crabtree. Same difference.
Yeah. You caught a different bullet. That's all. But you did dodge that first one. You dodged that first one. That's impressive.
All right, guys, we are out of here. Patrons, give us a second to fire up overtime. Everybody else, if you want to hang out with us a little bit longer, we're going to be talking about whatever, right? Whatever you want.
We're talking about Microsoft taking over the world.
Oh, yep. Patreon.com/LBHT Show. That's how you can be a part of it. And also our Discord is on there. But if not, thank you for hanging out with us. Sorry for the late start, but hope you enjoyed the extra time that you got tonight. And we will, I don't know, maybe we'll do a stream on Saturday or Sunday for the playoffs. We haven't decided yet, but stay tuned. You might see something from us. But all right, B, are you ready?
Always.
All right, B is ready. So that means we are out of here, and we will see you guys next time. Peace out.